volunteer activity is we're teaching Bahasa Melayu in a primary school, in a education center. And this is a very interesting because it's my first time teaching Bahasa Melayu in another country, and the student can pick up very fast, and it's a nice and interesting experience, and we hope this kind of activity can continue in the future.
So one of the activities that we actually done is we visit to I think it's a room, apartment style, but it's actually rented by one university student in Vietnam, and then the space is called Vietlish core space. And in this space, they are actually having night session. Like every night, they will gather the students who are interested to learn English and speaking. They will gather together, and they are actually divide them into two groups to practice how to speak and listening to some sharing from other people. So when we actually join there, we share about the Malaysia culture, and then we managed to really have a small, I would say it's a debate session. Yeah, it's a free debate session with the student from University of Vietnam. And yeah, I think this is a very good experience for us because we don't really get the chance to get to know of this problem in Vietnam, and then we can't really get to know with the student in Vietnam.
Alright, back to day 3, what we have done in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So basically we immersed into a Cambodian society where, like I said earlier, I use the connection that I have in Southeast Asia, where my friend brought me to her family house. So we stayed there for one night, and we changed the culture, like differences that we have, and share our thoughts about the education system that we have, and there's those kind of like conversation that we can never have in Malaysia. And at the same time, I still remember when I first arrived in the house, I actually wear this cap, and then the brother of my friend actually tell me you cannot wear cap in the house because it's very rude. So I was like, oh okay, it's very different from Malaysia. So I just took off my cap that time. And I think it's just very interesting to have this kind of opportunity, because if I'm not a backpacker, or if I'm not coming here for volunteerism, right, I don't think I can have this kind of like connection, like going into their house, like sleep, having dinner with them, talking with them, and yeah, it's just very, very nice.
What made this trip more interesting was when all 4 of us was away from Malaysia on Malaysian Independence Day. It was our first time experience celebrating our national day in other people's country. So what we did was we went on the Independence Day. We was actually at Ho Chi Minh City. So what we did was we went around Ho Chi Minh City asking for the foreigners to wish our country. So we literally taught them to wish them Happy Independence Day in Malaysia, which is Selamat Hari Kemerdekaan. So we had the Koreans, the Hollands, Vietnamese wishes for our Independence Day, saying Selamat Hari Kemerdekaan, and some even wished in their mother tongue. So that made the trip even more interesting.
Alright, so the thing that I have gained for these past few days is that really challenged my communication skill, especially the language barrier that I have. Like I need to communicate with the local people who don't know English at all, and somehow really push me out of my comfort zone to really make them understand what I'm trying to like tell them. And for example, just asking simple direction, but they don't even know what is right, what is left, what is going straight. So it's really challenging, but it somehow really pushed me to utilize my communication skill. So I think it's really a big gain so far.
What I gained so far is the teaching technique, because previous few volunteer activity, we need to teach the student that cannot understand English very well. So we need to think about how to teach the student to listen to us and learn about Bahasa Melayu. And the fun thing is, both of us, we are success in teaching in number and greeting in Bahasa. So this one is a good thing and another platform to learn to teaching the Bahasa Melayu in another country, and interesting also for a Malaysian than teaching bahasa in another country?
For this trip, I play the role as a treasurer. So what I did is to manage money. For example, for this trip, we are traveling to 3 countries: Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. So I had to handle the 3 different currencies: Dong, USD, and Thailand baht. So it was kind of hard at first to sort this money and to identify the value, compare it with Malaysian currency. So the first day of our trip at Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, it was a bit haywire. I went Penh for almost 2 hours to calculate the dong to convert it to Malaysian currency. But along the way, I learned how to manage the money and how to divide it for our food, accommodation, transportation, and all.
When we actually visit a place called Vietlis Core Space and we see the local people, how they really gather all of the youth, all of the university students in a space and they really practice English. Because this is the problem that they realize in Vietnam, where most of the students, they're very good in grammar, they are very good in writing, but they're very not fluent in speaking. So when we visit the place, I am very inspired by the way they're doing, because it is actually something that we can adapt in Malaysia, and one of the initiatives that we can initiate after we go back to really improve the language proficiency of the local students.